Hi, this is my rig that I have prepared as part of the module for the University of Derby in digital rigging. The mesh that we were given to begin with was this BTR-82A personnel carrier. When we were originally giving it, the model was difficult to use as the mesh was not as clean and well made as it would have needed to be for the animation. So the first step that I took was to use the first 2 weeks of this project cleaning up the topology and cleaning up pieces so that I knew what I was going to animate and rig. So, for example, all of the doors had separate pieces instead of all being one. So the handle, the two lumps on top of this door, the door itself, and the hinges were all separate pieces, so had to be combined to make sure that they worked efficiently. On top of that, the top part of the water filters or air filters were separated as well. So a lot of cleanup had to be done to make sure this looked great. On top of this, the wheels looked more like donuts than tyres, so I created a new tyre for this to make it look nicer and make it look like it was a tyre. So, as part of this project, I also had to go and look into research, and I found lots of it online, with some of it inside my OneNote, which can be seen with links and photos. So I decided I wanted to create something interactive yet easy to use. So, like with a lot of rigs, I did have manual controls which can be turned on, which control several things. And I tried to make sure the controls showed what they were doing instead of just being a regular arrow. I found out that through Photoshop that I could make more efficient paths that way, and then imported them as NURBS curves into the software before turning them into a NURBS surface. So each control works individually and you can activate it however you want to. I tried to stick to the main pieces, so for example the upper door, the turret turns and things like that. But I did run into troubles that when this was linked up to my control panel, it didn't move, and instead of spending time fixing that, I have decided to submit so I don't submit late. I also wanted to make sure that there were controls to turn on and off these visual controls, so that you can work with one or the other or both. So I decided to create this menu with multiple pieces and multiple tabs because there is a lot of movable objects on top of the BTR. So for example, I had the movement of wheels, and the second row of the wheels as well, but then this one can control both at the same time, so it's easier to use as well. I set limits on these so that it's easy to make sure that they don't go over a threshold, but in the manual ones themselves I left them without a threshold just in case the user would like to overturn them and make them look broken. Also added in pitch controls so the body can move, and the suspension as well, so that you can tell that the thing is going up and down. So these can easily be reset back to 0, so it's easy to tell that it's back to normal. I also have multiple door tabs because there are a lot of objects that can be used as doors. So, for example, you have the front windows. Yes, it looks like the BTR is now winking at you. So, and then you have the other one as well. The BTR is well trained at winking at you, so have fun. Also, there's some gunner doors just behind those windows that can be activated as seen here. On top of this, the animation has been done, or rigging has been done for the doors, so it's easy to see what's going on, and as before, both have been activated as well. This has been done through set driven keys, so that it is easy to create where they are at the beginning and where they are at the end. The reason I did this is I was having trouble with aim constraints and point constraints to make sure that all three of these pieces connected at the same time. And the same has happened on the other side as well. So both doors open. On top of that, on the front of the tank, there is a winch door where the winch controls would be when the winch is needed. Similar to before, the doors can be seen on the back of the BTR here, and opening and closing as you move the controls. And there are gunner ports all over the BTR, which can be seen just on the left hand side, and there are 2 on the back, 3 on the left, and 3 on the right. The turret controls are also done via the control panel as well, with gun height done as well. The gun recoil is on there as well, so if you wanted to animate gun blasts, that can be done with ease, as well as having the minigun on the side animated as well, this part here, so you can aim it, as well as also having some recoil on the gun itself. The spotlight on the top can be moved up and down, and the ammo hack on the back of this main gun opens as well. The detail on it can be seen is with the handle turns as well, so it looks nicer. I also added a water mode, as this is a more an amphibian vehicle as well. So with the full mode turned on, you can see the front water shield comes down, the 2 air pipe intakes go up, the rear rudder door opens up, as well as having 2 rudders inside, although they're not animated or rigged due to they would be unseen in game. These items can be done through this on their own, again through set driven keys, so during the middle of this they don't match up completely, but once at the end of the control length, they all match up so that it looks nice. And similar again, both pipes can be activated, or you can activate one at a time instead. There's a lot of other things on there, including the antenna, which can be seen just going up there. The mirrors can be activated as well. And the wipers, there's a storage box just here that can be seen opening and closing. And there are objects on the tank itself, here and here, that can be turned on and off, so you can decide whether you want them on or not. So, this is my controls for the BTR-82A personnel carrier, and there is a lot I would do differently at this stage, and a lot I would improve on, and I'm sure I will learn more as time goes on. So my post-mortem will include comments based on this, but some of the ideas would be to have the control panel purely through set-driven keys, so it doesn't interfere with the manual controls as much. I would learn more about the aim constraints so that everything matches up when moving the rigging around, so that when I'm moving controls, if I want to stop midway with the water shield or something, all of the pistons, everything match up properly. So yeah, thank you for having a look at this, and in the final version I would also add more hiding of controls, so the only things you can select are the control panels and the manual controls, so that would avoid any chance of interfering with mesh, objects and things like that. So thank you for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it.